Hi everyone, this is Gautami Pinkyar, and today we will be discussing about one of the lead code questions related to merge interval. It's a medium level question and it's usually asked in a lot of companies. So, first thing is that we will be dividing today's session into three parts, and the first part will be done in this session, and then the part two will have the second section. So the first section will include what we are going to include is we are going to understand the question, okay, and try to do a dry run, okay, and then in the second part we will be actually writing the pseudocode of as to how to actually solve this problem, and also we will be coding. So you can use any language as per your comfort zone, and through any language we can basically code it. But the main thing is the logic. How are we going to go ahead with it? So let's start. Okay, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. So this is the actual merge intervals question. Okay, and what they have given in the input is they have given a pair of arrays. Okay, if you see the input is 1, 3, 2, 6, 8, 10, 15, 18. Now if you go to see, every array over here is nothing but an interval. Okay, that means if it is containing 1 comma 3, that means it is an interval from 1, starting from 1 and ending to 3, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3. Similarly 2 comma 6 is 2 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Similarly, for 8 comma 10, it is 8 comma 9 comma 10. So these are the intervals that basically we have. And now let's go to the question. So what they have asked is that merge all the overlapping intervals, okay, and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals. Now, what do we mean by overlapping intervals and non-overlapping intervals? If you carefully see over here, you start with 1, comma 2, comma 3. This is your first session. And then your second interval starts from 2, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6. So in both of the cases, 2 will be the common. Okay? In both of the cases, 2 will be the common, and therefore these two arrays will be overlapping intervals. So actually, if you find that these two arrays are overlapping, then you basically merge them. And how do you merge them? Whatever is starting from 1 till 6. Okay. Similarly, now you've got 1 comma 6 as the first, because you've merged it. Now you compare it with 8 comma 10. So, is there anything in common? No, because 1 comma 6 is a separate interval, and then 8 comma 10 comes separate. So, both of these intervals are not overlapping. That is why we will add them in the output. And similarly for 15 and 18. So, if you compare 8 and 10 and 15 and 18, there is no similarity between both of them. And because there is no similarity, it is going to be a non overlapping interval. Now let's move on to the Jamboard, and let me show you how we can simplify this. So let me take one example as 1, 3, 2, 6, 8, 10, and 15, 18. Okay. So let me go to the example. Okay. So let's start. So now we have the intervals. Okay, that is 1 comma 1, sorry, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 6, 8 comma 10, and 12 comma 15. Okay, this is my intervals. Now what do I do is that I first of all put this in my scale. Okay, so let me just put 1. Let me just hide this. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3 lies between this and this. Then let's take the second one, that is 2 comma 6. 2 comma 6 lies between this and the sixth. Okay, so now if you see here, okay, let me just, you know, put this here like that. Yeah, so now if you see, first let's plot all the intervals, and then we will see what are the overlapping ones and what to be merged and what to not be merged. Then we go to 8 comma 10. So let me plot it. Okay, and then we go to 12 comma 15. So let me plot this as well. After we have plotted, now we will go and check 1 comma 3. Okay, 1 comma 3, nothing is overlapping as of now. 2 comma 6. Oh, so 2 is actually 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6 actually overlap at 2. That means two intervals are nothing but the these two intervals are nothing but the overlapping ones. So basically 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6. That means you get 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. That means 1 to 6 is nothing but the interval, that is the merged interval. So when we see this first part, till where it is ending, till here. So what is the starting point? 1. And what is the ending point? 6. Now after we merge this, we go ahead. Now our new interval becomes 1 comma 6. Now we compare it with 8 comma 10. Now 1 comma 6 and 8 comma 10, is there anything common between them? No. So therefore 8 comma 10 is nothing but a non-overlapping interval. And then let's compare 8 comma 10 with 12 comma 15. Is there anything common? No. So therefore 12 comma 15 also becomes one more non-overlapping array. So now your output will become 1 comma 6, which is a merged interval. If you compare it with 8 comma 10, nothing is merged, nothing is common, and then 12 comma 15. So these three which are there, they are nothing but your non-overlapping intervals. Okay. Now we will go to the second example. Okay. The second example, let me take 1, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9, 10. So let me take the second example, 1, 3, 6, 8. I'll tell you why I have 2, 4, and 9, comma 10. Now first thing, always remember that if you go from the ascending order, that means the lower to the higher, like how we did in the last case, like we went from 1 to 3, then we took 2, that is the next digit, then 2, after 2 we took 8. So basically this is nothing but an ascending order, that is going from the lower to the higher values. So similarly here what we observe is that we observe that one uh, the initial digits which are there, they are not in an ascending order. And whenever they are not in an ascending order, what will happen is that you will not basically when you will plot the elements, right, it will be very confusing. So it is very very important that we basically sort this. So sorting is very very important. So how do we sort it? We have 1 comma 3, then we have 2 comma 4, then we have 6 comma 8, and then we have 9 comma 10. So we have sorted it in 1, 2, 6, and 9 in an ascending order. Now what do we do is that here we actually plot them. So when we plot them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let me take the first interval, that is 1 and 3. All good? Nothing wrong. Then let me take the second interval, 2 comma 4. First I will plot it. Then let me take the 6 comma 8. Now did you see that everything is one by one? It's not like first 1 comma 3 and then 9 comma 10. No, because obviously when you will try to place the logic, this will help you, the ascending order. You don't have to actually worry about when you will merge the array, because you will already have it in the ascending format. So then next is 6 comma 8 and 9 comma 10. So we have plotted it. Now what do we do is that we take 1 comma 3. Okay, there is nothing to, nothing overlapping as of now, so all good. Then let's go to 2 comma 4. If you see 2 comma 4 and 1 comma 3 overlap at 2, correct? That means this is an overlapping, these two are the overlapping intervals. So your overlap, so what they have said in the question is that if there is a overlapping interval, then we need to merge them. Okay, so if we need to merge them, as I told you, what is the starting? 1. And what is the ending? 4. So you have merged 1 3 and 2 4 to 1 2 1 to 4. Okay, so this is your first um, interval, non overlapping interval. Now let's take the second one, that is 6 comma 8. So is 1 comma 4 and 6 comma 8 anything is there in common? No. There is a 5 in between, but there is nothing that they are overlapping. So your next becomes 6 comma 8, your second non-overlapping array interval. Then we go to 9 comma 10. Now obviously this is also not overlapping. If it was 7 comma 10, it would have been different. So now the starting is 9 and the ending is 10. So this is your third overlapping array. So this way you can find out, with the boundaries, you can actually find out from where to where it is lying. Okay. So now your non-overlapping arrays will be 1 comma 4, 6 comma 8, and 9 comma 10. Correct? So this is how you are going to first of all do a dry run. First of all, you're going to find out the output yourself by drawing the graph. Obviously, if it is a big number, don't do it. I would not recommend to do it. But if it is a small number, then you can basically draw this graph, which will make you very, very crystal clear. Okay, so we have taken two examples. Okay, there are multiple examples that you can take off, and you can actually do the dry run. Now, in the part 2, I will be covering two things. One is the pseudocode, that is how we are going to address this, how we are going to write the logic, and why we are going to write that particular logic. And secondly, what we are going to do is that we are going to be, after we have done the pseudocode, we will be writing the code and we will be running the code. So it could be any language, not necessarily JavaScript or Java. Any language you can basically perform this. You can solve this question. Have I made myself clear? So for today, uh, it's we have just completed how we are going to basically address this kind of questions and what we need to keep in mind. So in the next session, I will go on to the how we are going to basically write the pseudo code, what are the steps that we need to write, and then following that the code, we will be doing it together. So this will be like a group programming that we will be doing. So yeah, that's all for now. Do refer my next video where I'll be mentioning how we are going to achieve this. So for now, thank you so much.